Welcome everyone to episode 19 of the One Last Year podcast. And today we're joined by a very special guest, Aiden VanDaele. How are you doing today, Aiden?
Doing pretty good today. How about you, Sawyer?
Oh, I'm great. I'm great. Ian is looking like he's not had a great day because he's soaking wet.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I just got out of the shower. It's a very late recording.
It is very late. It is very, very late. Um, but man, Aiden, it is good to have you on here. How is senior year treating you so far? Just overall, how you feeling about it?
It feels like I'm never there because I don't have a first block, and then I get sea lunch and pride off,
hmm
so it's like I'm never there.
I do feel that.
But it's pretty good.
Like when I get to school, like because I have first block off too. When I get to school, it feels like it's the start of the day, and I have to like when I walk into second block, I like there have been times where I'm like, "Hey, good morning, everyone," and I have to remind myself that they've all been here for an hour already. So I kind of sound like an idiot. But man, this is something I'm gonna ask. We've already talked about this to death, so I'm gonna try to stray away from it the further away we get. But it was a big deal, still recent enough. I mean, how did you enjoy your senior homecoming, Aiden?
Uh, it was pretty
Part
good.
three.
I mean, I kind of just stood there, talked to people.
hmm
Uh, some kids were just dancing, but most people were just standing there talking to each other.
That's usually how it goes. Did you go
Yeah, and they
to?
played like Fiend so many times.
Yeah, they 3 times, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
What? Did you go to any other homecoming events other than the dance? I saw you at the game.
yeah. I
Right?
was at the homecoming game. I was also on the senior float for
Oh
the
yeah,
parade.
the parade. Right? How was that?
It was good. I mean, Owen texted me like last minute asking if me and my friends could come do it, and I said sure. And he makes us come there so early, and we just stand there.
Yeah.
And then we're on the float, and we have candy. We just throw it out. I mean, nobody really talked to me. I was just throwing out candy to the kids, and then waving at people I knew, like family and stuff. And then got to the high school and got some Gatorade, so that was
Did
pretty
you
good.
run out of candy by the end?
Yeah, I ran out like 75% through.
Dude, it feels so terrible when you're out and you just have to not give the kids anymore.
You just have to like stare at them as you slowly drive by and they're like begging you for candy.
I think for like future reference to anyone who may be in the parade in the future is like take note of like where like the halfway point is on your route. So that way if you have like 2 bags of candy and you run out of one, like wait to open the second one until you've made sure you're over halfway. Cause when I ran out of my first bag of candy, I just opened the second one right away without thinking. And we weren't even halfway done yet. But I mean, overall, Aiden, how would you rate your whole homecoming experience out of 10, your senior year, your final one?
Probably the best one out of them all.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 10 out of 10.
Ooh, man, that's good. I would give it a 9
If I
out of
have to
10.
compare it to past years,
That's valid. That's valid. I'd give it a 9
freshman
out
year
of 10
sucked.
just because of Paul Blart. Yeah, freshman year.
If you know, you know.
We know. We've talked about it. Episode 1, we talked about it.
Yeah, I don't like talking about it.
Quite an interesting experience. Did they ever catch the people who were doing all that?
You tell me.
I never heard of anyone getting punished.
I mean, Miss Kleppy came up afterwards, and
No, it
I don't
wouldn't
know.
have been
She's
Mr.
like,
Peppy. It would have been Mr. Bully.
Mr. Bully.
"Oh, my bad. I'm like tuning out already. I thought y'all were talking about this year's film on the field."
Yeah, David, you were telling me at school today that you were just going to be very sleepy this episode. You normally go to bed earlier than this.
Yeah. Actually, last week I went to bed at like 7, like each night.
Why?
So, well, I was just extra tired.
Oh, okay. When did you have
But
to be to school early?
mm, no, I was just feeling sick. But now I usually get to bed at like 9:30, like on a normal day. So
We are already
it's past
past
my
that.
bedtime.
Hope don't fall asleep
So.
by the end of this episode, guy. All right.
Yeah, I might just tuck into bed, just turn off my lights.
Uh,
Better
okay.
not.
So, Aiden, let's
What's
talk.
up?
Let's talk about you a little more. Let the people know what you're all about. Okay. So,
Okay.
I'm aware that you are very big into flying. You're very big into planes. It's sort of your passion, would you say, right?
Yeah, it's my passion.
So, I mean, just tell us about that. When exactly did that all start? I mean, when did you discover that that was kind of what you were into?
So me and my cousin used to live together, and his dad is a commercial pilot, and we were influenced a lot by that. And we used to fly RC planes around, like little remote control ones.
Hmm.
And then I'd watch a bunch of like commercial airplane videos on my iPad, and then he ended up going to flight school, and then I ended up doing it myself. And it's actually really fun once you get the hang of it.
How old were you when you did that?
When I actually started taking lessons,
Hmm.
I was 16, but you can do it when you're younger.
That's crazy, actually. Like I'd
Yeah, I'm
figure.
taking a break right now, but January I'm gonna just finish it all.
So like flight lessons, like how does that whole like process work? Is it similar to like like learning how to drive almost?
Sort of. Like, what do you mean by that?
Well, how did the structure of the lessons work? Like what steps do you take before getting into the air?
Okay, so if you're new to flying, you'll take an intro flight, which is you'll fly with a pilot. That's also a certified flight instructor. And what he'll do is he'll just show you what everything does and he'll let you steer it. And if you like it, you'll start lessons. If you don't like it, then you don't do anything from there. But let's say you like it.
Mhm,
Then what you're going to do is he's just going to teach you basic things like a pre-flight check, which is basically making sure all your surfaces are good, your fuel is good. So you have to siphon the fuel out of the wing to make sure there's no water in it, and then you check your oil, all that stuff, tire pressure, make sure all your instruments work, lights work, radios work, and then you take it out.
mhm,
And then normally on the first lesson, he'll kind of like lead through everything, but like the more lessons you take, the more you have to do.
right.
Say first lesson he'll make radio calls on the air traffic control. Maybe by the fifth lesson I'm doing it.
Mhm.
Wait,
So,
so have you like flown a plane 100% by yourself yet?
No, not yet. I'm about to, but I haven't reached that point yet.
Uh-huh.
mm, is that like scary, like thinking about?
Right now, yeah. I haven't flown in a few months, so I'm a pretty nervous about it, but I feel like once I start flying again, I'll be fine.
So, like, what kind of career are you planning on going into in regards to that?
So I want to kick it off with some corporate jet flying, so like
Mm,
private jets, and then eventually, once I get my hours, go over to like an airline, specifically cargo, because cargo airlines pay a lot a year
mhm.
and they fly cool planes. So,
Yeah. Yeah. So, where are you working right now then to sort of prepare yourself for that?
so I'm working at Davenport Municipal Airport near my house. It's not Moline. It's not the one you normally go to. It's the one where the air show's at. If you guys go to the air show,
Mhm,
I'm a line service technician. So what I do, it's like a glorified glass station clerk. So like what I do is I fuel up airplanes. So whether it's some tiny little four-seater propeller plane or some business jets. The coolest thing I've ever fueled up was like a F-18 fighter jet for the air show. That thing was pretty cool.
mhm,
But
What type of
So,
fuel do y'all use?
so for your piston planes, a piston
Yeah.
plane is sort of a gasoline engine. Use 100 octane low lead fuel, so it's not
Hmm.
unleaded. It actually has lead in the fuel, and it's
Right.
100 octane. And then
Hmm.
for things that use turbines, you use Jet A, which is basically
Makes
diesel
sense.
fuel with additives, so it doesn't freeze at 40,000 feet.
Yeah, checks out.
Mm.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So, how much like experience did they expect you to have going into like the first lesson? Because driver's ed, it's just like obviously you don't know how to drive a car. They teach you how to drive a car, but you were saying like you've been at least sort of like researching this since you were a kid. So like,
Yeah.
is it just
So,
you go in, you're like, yeah, what?
well, he'll ask you questions and like how confident you are in doing certain things, and like if you've never flown before, they'll treat you as if you don't know what you're talking about. But if you have prior knowledge, I guess they'll just use that to the advantage and try to build up from there.
mhm.
That makes sense.
You walk in, you're just like, I got this, teach. You just ace your first lesson. All right,
As long as you do it
see
right,
that.
then yeah, it's all good.
Have you ever had any like scary moments like while flying? Like you almost
Yeah,
messed up?
I wasn't flying. It was my cousin. I
Mhm.
fly with him a lot, but he and me were flying to Michigan
Yeah.
for to do a touch and go, which is basically just land it and then go right back up
Yeah.
because
Oh,
we had nothing to do and he needed to gain hours for whatever he was working on. And coming back, it became very, very windy. And the control tower ended up calling us, telling us that there's some pretty bumpy winds and turbulence near the airport. So we're coming into land, and all of a sudden we get blown by a gust of wind, and it like knocks us off our course, and all the like a couple of the alarms went off. So we had to like abort the landing. Basically, we had to say we're going around. So you just basically reject landing, and then you go back up in the air and circle around and land again. We ended up landing, but it was really rough.
Yeah.
dang.
Not
Was
very
there?
fun.
So there was like no instructor there, or was there?
My cousin and me there. He was the pilot, and I was just flying for fun.
Hmm. Like
Oh, okay.
what I mean, I'm assuming yes, but would you say that like flying is a lot more complicated than say driving a car?
At first, yes.
Hmm.
Actual steering in the air is very easy. It's just learning how everything works. Like a car, you learn how to shift into drive, or if you're learning manual, you learn how gas and clutch work. But in the air, you got to learn what all the instruments do, like altimeter, and all that stuff.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, I mean,
So, from what age exactly did you say you like wanted to like you really started getting interested in this?
Like when I was like 10.
Oh wow, that's young. I remember. I feel like for most people, at some point when we were like in elementary school, we all had like that career when they were like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And you say what it is, and that's not what it is today at all. Like I remember when I was in
Mine was
elementary
a pilot.
school, uh, and a teacher asked like, "What do you want to be?" I said I wanted to be a paleontologist because as a kid I was like, "Oh, I love dinosaurs. If I'm a paleontologist, I'm gonna get to see a dinosaur," which obviously is not true at all. Paleontology is mostly just digging and then dusting off fossils, which to me is a very, I don't know, it's kind of a mundane job thinking about it now. You don't get to see a T-Rex just walking around if you're a paleontologist. It's also like a
Unfortunately.
pretty risky field, given that if you don't find anything, you're kind of screwed. Not that me wanting to go into the entertainment industry is any less risky. That's way riskier of an industry. But yeah. What about you guys, you three, my hosts? Was there
No,
any like job you
like
wanted to be that just not anymore?
what
I
you
don't think
said.
I ever. I don't think I ever actually had a dream job because I was in like fourth grade. I swear I said this. They were like, "What's your dream job?" And I was like, "Retired." Because I
Mm.
don't know. I'm just terminally lazy. I think. I guess.
You know one of the teachers that heard you
So
say that was like, yes, sir, I agree."
I was ahead of my time.
Yeah, I think when I was like 3, I said I wanted to be like a choo-choo driver. I also wanted to be like a race car driver. I never had my astronaut phase.
You never wanted to be an astronaut?
Nah, that's too much work. I just wanted to drive cars. You know
Because
what
when
I
you're
mean?
so many kids want to be astronauts because they just want to be like Neil Armstrong and be like famous forever.
Exactly.
But
I'm
you
not
don't
like the
I
other
you
don't
don't
girls.
understand. Like, why do astronauts have to be so smart? Because isn't it like the people on ground control that do all the math,
I
and
Exactly.
mean,
astronauts
Right.
just go run around?
Yeah, the astronauts don't build the spaceships.
well, okay. Well,
That's what I'm
if you're
saying.
say like on the International Space Station, you have to know how to manage that. Because like there are
Well,
times where they have to go outside, and if you don't know what you're doing there, then you just get flown off into space. And
uh, that's like technical stuff. That's like putting on your harness and like latching. Have you seen the video of the dude climbing like the cell tower to go replace the bulb at the top?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah,
And there's like Dude, there's like no hooks at the top. I was watching that one morning and I was just sweating in my bed. I was like, this is so scary. And I woke up for the day and I was just like, I couldn't
I
function. I
remember
was
the
like, oh my
first
God, people have to
time.
do that.
I remember the first.
I'm so fortunate to just be on the ground.
I remember the first time I saw, as like a kid, I saw like a water tower and it had like a ladder on the side, and I saw that as a kid and was like, no way people are climbing that thing. But people do it for a living. So, Aiden,
Well, hold on. I
What's
never
up?
said my
oh,
dream job.
my bad, Ian.
Let him go.
Yeah, yeah. Um, interrupting you, I probably should have had that ready.
Oh,
My dream job. I knew what it was literally a minute ago, but I just forgot. All
was
the
it
meat.
always a cop?
It was not always a cop. I never wanted to be a cop growing up. Um, but I feel like what most people say they want to do at 10 is not what they still want to do today. That's
Yeah.
pretty impressive. Do you want to fly planes for a living, right?
Yeah,
Look
that's
at
the
his
goal.
shirt. Look at his shirt. I'm sorry.
That's pretty impressive.
Pilot in progress, please wait, is what it says.
Oh, I remember now. I remember what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a YouTuber.
Oh, every kid I think had that kind of
Me
phase
too.
at
Me
some
too.
point.
Yep. But I was big into YouTube.
Did you
Yeah,
have
you
a
are right
channel?
now, dude.
I did have a channel.
Me too. It's still up.
Yep. I think every kid has some random channel out there.
And mine still has videos that are being uploaded on it. Dude,
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of people have been asking me, like, Sawyer, can you please make like the homecoming court video public? It will be at the end of this quarter, I promise. I
Oh my
upload
god, I just realized. I'm sorry. I just realized my dreams come true. I'm on YouTube right now.
you
I
are.
literally just said
Yeah,
that.
Jacob.
Dude,
Whoa! But
Oh
you
my
said it louder.
No, what I like,
Jacob, I didn't hear you, Jacob. Oh my god.
right.
I'm
guys.
so smart for coming up with that idea.
Your dreams have come true. You peaked in high school. I'm so
Yeah.
proud of you.
I peaked in high school. That's like what everyone's been saying since I went homecoming king. Yay,
Mhm.
you peaked.
Ooh,
Oh, I hope not.
that's rough.
I
All
hope
downhill from here, Sawyer.
I hope I'm not like 40 something years old, like at the dinner table. Not with my kids, I'm with my nephews and nieces and be like, yeah, Uncle Sawyer was homecoming king once. Bro, I gotta have like a better story than that. But
That's a good story.
I don't know. Oh, I was talking about the videos. At the end of every quarter, I upload like a compilation of all the ads I made that quarter. And one of the things I think I'm gonna do with this one is remember how there was that back to school video, but then there was the original version of the back to school video that was completely different. I might put that one in there too, just as like a little bonus, a little director's cut.
Can't stop you.
Because I really like
Make
that.
it an ARG. You got to discover it.
Yeah, what happened to the storyline you were gonna have for last school year?
What do you mean?
You had like a little story in every single YouTube video.
Is that true?
Yeah,
No.
you were like at the end of the video it'd be all like staticky and stuff.
No, that was just like a transition. Like I did that in the court video too.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. In the
You had like
court
a
video,
whole
it like got all like staticky and glitchy on screen when it like cut to me in the parking lot in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
It's
but
just one of his hotkeys.
it was more than just
Puts that in
transition.
everything.
You were talking about you had a whole plan.
It's his
Yeah,
producer tag.
He has a lot of plans.
I do have a lot of plans. A lot of them don't end up working because of things that are out of my hands.
I'm
Like a
outta here.
certain movie that we were gonna make. I'm not talking about that. Not yet. One day.
Are we ever going back to that?
Maybe. Anyways, Aiden. So, getting into that whole career, is there like college that you have to go to? Like, do you have to get any sort of degree or?
Um, yeah, about that. So uh, I'm trying to think of how to word it. So there's part 61 and then there's part 141. Part 61 is you have to have 1,500 hours to be an airline pilot.
All right.
So part 61 would be doing the training on your own at like a local flight school like I do. I go over to Moline Airport. Or you can go over to part 141 and study whatever. I think it's 2 classes or something.
Hmm.
And go through college and fly. That's what my cousin's doing.
Yeah.
So you can do that. But I've been told that the college route for flying isn't just is it worth it? You spend 4 years of your life and you overpay for things you can do and locally for cheaper.
Right.
And they don't really look for degrees. I mean, if you have a degree, your chances of getting hired quicker are like that. But in today's like pilots like shortage, they'll take you right away. Like they always need pilots. So as long as you have your like ratings and hours, you should be good.
That's neat.
That's neat.
Yeah.
So you're not really looking to go to college, is what I'm hearing.
I'm not gonna go to the college route. I've been told by too many people I've met that they regret it.
Mm.
And personally, I'm not like the big party guy. I'm not gonna go to college and go to parties and do all that.
Mhm.
That's not for me.
You're not like David Ball.
David
Yeah, I'm
Ball
actually.
is gonna have a
I'm
lot
going
of
to
parties.
college just to party.
He's gonna peak in
Yeah.
college.
That's why I told my parents, I'm like, yeah, I got to go to a big school so I can party. I actually already got accepted into Iowa State, so I'm like set. Yeah.
I want to go to Iowa, University of Iowa. I haven't started. Oh, David, you got a problem with that?
Yeah, I
It's a
actually
good
got
school.
I got my Iowa State shirt on right now too. As just a sweatshirt.
I don't know why
Yeah,
I
so-
want to go to University of Iowa. I think I've like briefly mentioned it, but I've never gone like
Spite
in.
me.
No. Yeah, I'm trying to get as far away from David as I can. No.
Mhm.
A little factoid about our school. I don't know if I brought this up on the podcast. I think some people know it. You know the movie A Quiet Place?
Mhm.
Right, pretty big
They didn't
movie.
even go to the high school.
Yeah, they did.
They went to the middle school. They went to the middle
They went to the
school.
They
high
were in
school.
Mr. Wilman's class.
Well,
What?
they went. Mr. Wilming. Yeah, they
Yeah,
went
the
to the
two
high
dudes that
school.
made that movie.
They went to the high school. They are graduates. Anyways, because Jacob's clearly out of the loop, the two dudes, the two
I literally
friends.
met them.
Okay, the two guy. Yeah, you met them in middle school when they came to the middle school after the movie.
Yeah, they
release.
said they went to the middle school and then they transferred to a different high school. That's what they told me. That's what Google says. What's it? What?
Really, really.
Google
That's
it
not what
right
I
I'll look
heard.
it up.
But
I can
anyways,
fact check
the
you.
two
Googling it right
guys.
now. I'm Googling it.
Yeah, figure that out, guys. But the two guys who made A Quiet Place, as far as who wrote it, as far as I'm aware, went to Bettendorf High School. I at least went to Bettendorf Middle School, and following that, they went to the University of Iowa together. Which University of Iowa has a very good film program, and of course for me, in-state tuition. And basically, my whole mindset is, well, obviously that route worked for them. It could work for me, right? And it's again, in-state tuition. They have one of the better film programs in the country, so I think that's the route I want to go. I have not yet to start applying. I probably should. I got to take the ACT, which I will probably do the next time that's available. One thing I have been looking into, though, well, maybe I'll wait to mention it. Ian, Jacob, have either of you found what you're looking for?
It says they were both raised in Bettendorf, Iowa. I'm still looking for the fact that one of them was born in Denver, Colorado, and the other one was born in Davenport. But then they were both raised in Bettendorf. But I just heard nothing about their high school.
I was born in Davenport.
Thank you,
Are
Dave.
you-
Yeah, I was born in the hood.
Okay.
I'm also on Wikipedia. So
Oh, that's not a reliable
Yeah, it's saying
source.
they just went to the middle school
where'd you see that?
on the YouTube interview that I'm on. It's like, because it's like Quad City Times is interviewing them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you guys went to the middle school," and they never say nothing about the high school, which leads me to believe
I mean, Mr.
they did
Wilming,
not.
in when I had mass media, Mr. Wilming, I'm pretty sure mentioned that he taught them, that he was their
Yeah, he
teacher.
said the same thing to mine.
So,
Like my
Did he
class.
work at the middle school?
no, he worked at the high school.
Uh,
So, I think
Sawyer, when did you have him?
I had him sophomore year, so 2 years ago, like his last year.
Me too. I have him third quarter sophomore year. He was a good teacher.
I did as well. We didn't have class together, but
No, I was in his fourth block.
I was in his third. I was the only sophomore in there.
I was the only sophomore in mine too.
Man, why did they put us in the same room?
Yeah, I
But
don't know.
as I was saying, I haven't started applying. What I have been looking at is I've been looking into scholarships. And I've actually been able to find some pretty silly ones. There are some goofy scholarships out there. There's one. The first one that caught my eye, and I think I brought this one up to David. Is a scholarship called the 10 Words or Less Scholarship.
Oh yeah, you brought that up.
Dude, it intrigues me so much. What it is, it's a $1,000 scholarship, which, obviously isn't the biggest scholarship, but that's still $1,000 that can be put towards like textbooks and room and board and whatnot. It's a $1,000 scholarship where your submission is literally just, well, it's in the name. It's just 10 words or less as to why you think you deserve the scholarship. That's it. That's the whole submission. And I think it's,
Were your 10 words?
what are my 10 words? I'm still deciding. Give me the money. Give me the money, please. Those are my words. That's what I'm gonna submit.
Just chant them. Give me the money, please. Give me the money, please.
Dude, I
Give
think
me my money.
dude, I think
Say
everyone
please 10 times.
I feel like everyone would benefit from applying for that scholarship because like you might as well. It's only 10 words.
I think so.
Ian, what would you say if you were submitting that?
Here's Sawyer. Did you know that the record low for temperature in Bettendorf, Iowa was negative 28 degrees?
That is not 10 words.
Why are you going down like a rabbit hole of Bettendorf lore?
I don't know. I was looking for the guys on Wikipedia, and then there was a hyperlink to Bettendorf's Wikipedia page, and I've been on there for a while.
Do you want an even more niche factoid about Bettendorf alumni?
What?
There was a lady who graduated from Bettendorf High School who became like a extra movie actress, and she acted in a movie called Bigfoot versus DB Cooper.
I actually heard
Ooh,
it.
DB.
Dude, there's a serial killer who got arrested at like one of the jails here one time.
Oh,
It's like this famous serial killer. We caught him, and then he got loose, and then he killed people in like Colorado. But
when was
we
this?
got him here
Hey Sawyer, what do you think the
in like the
record?
60s.
What do you think the record high is for temperature in Bettendorf, Iowa?
You are so distracted right now, Ian.
Take a guess.
I don't know. Probably like 102.
That's actually really close.
What is it?
103.
All right. And let me guess, it was probably within like the past like 5 years within that.
Dude,
It doesn't have the year.
Ian, you should get into weather history, dude. I've been getting on the weather history
Okay.
side of YouTube a few times.
Mhm.
It just gets me so hyped for winter because like it was like the winter of 78, the winter of 79, I think it was. Or no, it was 86 and 87 in the Midwest. It just like screwed us. And it was like photos of people like dying in the winter and like their houses being stoned. And I'm like, I love Christmas, dude. I'm so happy. It just got me so cozy in my bed.
Dude, remember like the once in a lifetime blizzard that happened in Texas that one time?
Oh.
And it like
Dude,
people actually died during that.
it was like 60 degrees and they were like burning their clothes to stay warm. And I was like,
Yeah.
It was not okay.
I did not feel remotely bad.
I mean, the thing is that like Texas infrastructure isn't built to withstand snow. Like the roofs are not meant to have snow on them, like they are here. So people's homes just caved in when it snowed there. Anyways,
Mhm.
Guys,
getting away from weather.
Did you know Bettendorf High School has their own Wikipedia page?
Pretty much every school does.
Are you remotely
Uh,
surprised by that?
You
I
can't
am
trust
actually
it, so
extremely
it's
surprised.
Look up
Wikipedia.
high school and then go to Wikipedia and then look at the list
Give you a full list.
of like every high school there is.
Apparently, the winter of 2021 was like record breaking. And I wish I was like conscious back then, 4 years ago,
2021.
to experience it.
You weren't conscious in
2021.
2021?
What was going on in
What?
your head there? That was like freshman year.
I don't know. I didn't. I don't know. I didn't wake up until I was like 8 years old, and then I like fell back asleep, and then woke up when I was 16. I think I was just gliding through life for a few years. I think.
Uh,
I don't know.
okay. Dude, how
I
did
wish I could have.
we don't ever get this sidetracked. We were talking about scholarships.
Do you see the thing in like? I think it was also the 70s. It was this town in. It was this town in Illinois. It wasn't Springfield, but it was up by there. They got like wiped out by this like Series 5 tornado, and like none of the sensors went off. They were like testing. It was like a tornado warning that day or something. So they just got like screwed. They didn't even know there was a tornado coming, and it just wiped out the whole like town.
Yes, Ian.
Ian, you
Sawyer,
have a weather event to tell me about?
Sawyer, what were the two guys that wrote A Quiet Place?
Yeah, that's the bad thing. I don't actually know their names, and I probably should.
Well, I'm looking at the notable alumni part of Bettendorf's Wikipedia page, and it says Scott Beck and Brian Woods, screenwriter/director.
That's
Yeah,
probably
that's probably
them.
them.
Dude,
Sawyer, did you know that the
they
reason
did-
New York
they
City's
did go
telephone poles are
Bettendorf High
underground
School.
Dude,
is because back in like I
Jacob,
think it was
Jacob, can you
1913,
get off
they had
whatever,
a really, really
20
bad
fun
winter,
facts
and
about the
it
weather?
literally knocked down all the
Can you,
telephone poles
you're
and all
on
the
a random
wires.
website
So they
that's
had to
just
put
like
them
giving you are
underground,
reading off of,
and they
you
had that
don't
in like
know this off the
Tokyo
top of your
too.
head.
But that's kind of why. Yes, I do. I literally watch weather
You are,
videos
I
every year.
guarantee you are on like some 20 fun facts about the weather.
No, I'm not. I just get in a phase like twice a month. I just look at weather videos.
Oh,
They always hype me up for the winter, and then it disappoints me. I'm gonna look up winter.
what? Because we don't
2014.
have like category 5 hurricanes in Iowa?
Hurricanes are boring. I just want snow.
What? Why?
Yeah, I might buy a farmer's almanac for the winter of
Almanac?
25 just to figure out.
Dang.
Aiden, what
Yeah,
are your
so
thoughts on the weather?
I think it's pretty cool.
Nice.
It's always interested me.
Do you have to
It's
worry?
too hot for October. It's 80.
Oh my God, Jacob, are you okay right now? Oh yeah, like how does weather, Aiden? Oh, how does like weather play into like flying? I mean, sounds like a dumb question, but
Um,
like
so
how are things
when
different?
you
Like
fly,
winter.
you have a VFR and you got an IFR. VFR means visual flight rules. That means you got to use like landmarks and stuff to fly. That's like the most common one for like beginners.
Yeah.
So it needs to be like good weather for that. You're not allowed to go in the clouds. And then IFR would be like shitty weather, and you fly in using your instruments,
Right.
and you can't really look outside. But if it's storming, you can't fly into a storm. You can fly above it, or you can fly around it. Can't fly through it, or it'll tear your plane apart. That happened in
Are you
Muscatine like a few years ago.
Ugh. Are you supposed to like fly through like gaps in the clouds to get above them? Because I know I read this thing. It's like you're legally not allowed to skydive through a cloud. Like clouds are scary. So are you supposed to not go through 'em?
VFR, if it's like there's clouds, but they're like really spaced apart, you can fly through them, but you can't fly. Or no, you have to fly like between the clouds, not through them. If it's IFR, it doesn't matter.
Mm.
Is that thing that Jacob said about skydiving through clouds true?
That is true. I heard about
It's
that.
true. You legally can't skydive through a cloud. It's probably just so you don't like you think it's fog and just like hit the ground really fast.
Well,
But it also just like hurts, I think,
You
yeah,
might
because
not
you're going
believe
really
this,
fast through a bunch of water.
but I skydived
What?
through a cloud.
that's
How was that?
badass,
What was?
dude.
All right, we're admitting the crimes on the podcast. What was that
If
like?
it's an accident,
Well,
you
hold on.
skydived?
I did
I want to
skydive.
skydive. That's awesome. I want to go bungee jumping. I want to go in one of those ones that just dunks you in the water.
Oh, that'd be
It
fun.
looks so fun.
Dude.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Wait, so when did you go to?
I see fat dudes go on those. They look like they're living the life, dude. Let's get dunked.
When did you go skydiving?
In August of this year, a few months ago.
So I mean, what was that like? Like, was it the skydiving where you had like a person on your back, like
Yeah,
able to
yeah.
shoot for you?
The tandem jump.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What was like the
it was
occasion, or was it just
really cool. It was for my 18th birthday. I turned 18 in July.
Mm-hmm.
So to celebrate a couple weeks after, I ended up going skydiving.
Nice. Was it?
But yeah,
Was it scary?
super cool. The actual like falling, no. It was when you're sliding. So in the plane, there's like a bench, and you're like sitting like this, and then there's like a dude in front of you, and then you have the dude behind you, and you're like leaning on him.
Uh-huh.
The scariest part for me was sliding down the bench to the door and the wind's whipping at you. And he goes, 3, 2, and then he just jumps. And you like flip out. For the first second, I'm like, whoa. 'Cause I've never felt anything like that. But after the first like 2 seconds and you're free falling, it's like the coolest feeling ever. Your stomach doesn't really drop like a roller coaster either. That's what I thought it would do.
God.
Because I think that's like really just acceleration. So that should only be like the first few seconds till you hit terminal velocity.
Mm-hmm.
Because it does that in
Yeah,
cars too when you go really fast.
my face was
But
just
yeah, I've
like
heard that.
all over the place. I have pictures on my Instagram, and my face is just all scratched out, and my mouth filled with air. So when I would scream, I look like super stupid.
That's badass.
Dude,
But
I kind of want to go skydiving one day. Feels like
I would highly recommend it.
sounds like a
Yeah.
freeing experience.
How expensive is it?
Oh my god.
Is it cheap? It's not. It can't be cheap. But
My jump was $250.
Oh,
I did it at
Mm.
14,000 feet. You can pay 200 for 8,000, or 250 for 14,000 for a 1 minute free fall, or you can pay more for a higher one. And then if you want to buy like the camera, like the dude that takes pictures of you, it's like $100 extra.
wow.
I
But
can see that.
for the price, I honestly would recommend it. I would have done it even if it was twice as expensive.
Mm.
Is that like a good business model? Because they really just it's like a regular flight. Then they just throw you at the door. It's $200 to go nowhere.
Well,
I might look into that. I might get my pilot's license to throw people out.
You've got to have some
I'll think about it.
you've got to have some like serious like balls of steel to be the guy who jumps out of the plane with you like multiple times every day for a living.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because
Yeah,
people do die skydiving regularly.
it does
It's not
happen.
uncommon.
yeah.
The dude that jumped with me said he had 7,000 jumps,
Jeez,
and he's been doing it since the
Ooh.
90s.
that's crazy.
That's
That's an astronomical number.
wow.
He's got to have like,
7,000 jumps? That's crazy.
dude.
Just to think about it, you could be his last. That'd be honorable, I think.
I can't tell if that would like make you more likely to live longer or shorter based on like your heart rate. Like, do you think his heart rate's got to be low?
Heart rate?
Like, he probably does not get that much adrenaline from doing it anymore.
You think he gets those dreams where he feels like he's falling regularly, or like
I
I bet
I
he
get
gets
those.
that, but then he doesn't wake up. He's just like another day in the job.
Oh man, that sounds like a really cool 18th birthday though. David, you just had your 18th birthday
Yeah, I
yesterday
did.
as of recording.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did.
It was
It was
Tuesday.
it was pretty fun. We had dinner, a couple of guys, and we were gonna go to Iron Tea, which is like Top Golf.
You were going
Um,
to.
we're going to. We showed up to Iron Tea only like we get there and it's like super empty. So we're thinking, oh, we're gonna get in. We walk into the lobby and the guy's like, sorry, we're booked out for the night.
The
And
whole
I literally
place?
said, and I said, but you guys are empty. They didn't have the top or the bottom deck open, so it was just the middle deck. So and they were keeping the other spots open for members of Iron T. Because if you're a member, you can walk in at any time you want, and they guarantee that you will have a spot. So they're like, if we put you guys out there, you're gonna get kicked out soon, even though it was like 8 o'clock at night on a Tuesday.
What? Like,
So they just
why was it so rented out? Was there like an even bigger, richer party coming?
no people. I mean, there's people there, but they kept like half the spots open for members. So
Hmm.
now I know to get reservations.
Yeah.
Even though we went on homecoming, and they just let us walk in, and I felt like that would be a busier day. But obviously they didn't have the staff to run the whole place on a Tuesday night, so it's
True.
whatever.
I noticed when we were there, it's got to be. Dude, imagine being the guy. I'm not saying this in any way, but the guy who like drives out in that little like vehicle that
That'd be
like picks
fun,
up all
dude.
the golf balls.
Dude, you wouldn't have to pay me to do that. That would actually be so much fun.
Bro, just getting pelted on the side of the window with golf
It
balls.
would it would be like soothing though. Like it's like rain
It's
on
like
your window
hailing.
at night. Yeah.
Would it?
I think it would. But anyway, after we did that, we're like, okay, well, we just came to my house and played Jackbox for about 3 hours,
Oh,
and
I
then
love
it
Jack.
was, and then it was 9 o'clock, and I said, I'm tired. and I kicked him out of my
Get out of my
house.
house.
So I kicked him out of my house and went to bed at like 9:30 on my birthday. So it was pretty hype, pretty fire.
How does it feel
I'm an
being
adult
18?
now.
Big boy.
Ooh, dude, did you sign the
Yeah,
draft?
I did not yet. Not yet. They're gonna
Not
get
yet.
me. They're gonna get me.
They'll get you soon.
Dude, I like on all my social media, like even Spotify, they're like, "Hey, dude, we know you're 18 now, so we can do different things to you." And I'm like, "What?"
Kind of wordy.
Just play my music. Well, they're like, your ads are gonna be different and stuff like that. Was on YouTube. It said that on Instagram. It said that. I'm like, I don't care about my ads, whatever, dude. But now I can get arrested, so I gotta
Nice. Well,
stop being I gotta stop being a criminal.
You could already be arrested before.
No, but now like I could go to jail. You know what I mean? And like I wouldn't last a day in jail. You know what I mean?
no, I think you'd own the place. I think you become like a kingpin.
I don't think you know. I don't think you know me. I mean, maybe if I like walked in there and acted like I own the place, but
That's how you act in calculus. You act like you know everything, which you usually do.
yeah. Today we were doing math, and you know our teacher he comes over and he's super smart. He's checking all our work, and he checks my work, and he's like, "Well, I wouldn't do it that way, but you got it right." And then he goes up on the board and just writes it backwards from how I wrote it, and I'm like, "Oh, right
Hey.
on, Mr. Buck. I'm smart.
A win is
I
win.
got it right." Yeah.
Win
Game
is
yeah.
a win. Man,
Don't hate the game, don't hate the player, hate the game.
I think it's been over 10 minutes since I brought up scholarships, and I never got to finish what I was saying.
Well, then finish what you're saying.
All right. So, yeah, I mentioned the 10 words scholarship. I was genuinely thinking about, like, what I would put, because I'm definitely going to fill that one out, because, like, I might as well, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking something. I wanted to try and find what past year's winners won, but I couldn't. They're not like public. I'm guessing something like philosophical would probably win. Like, I thought of like one that was like an investment in me is an investment into the future, and that's 10 words exactly, or something like that. I don't know if that's what I'd put.
I think you could try to just put something down funny and see if that would
Something
work.
silly down.
Yeah.
I deserve it. Trust.
Because I don't know how. I don't know the age of who's picking that.
Yeah, how does the winner of something like that get decided? There are a lot of weird scholarships out there that like the requirements seem very like I don't know, just not. Why are people being given money for stuff like this? You know what I mean? Like I found there's a lot of like not really like nationally recognized scholarships, but there's like third party scholarships almost that exist out there. And like there's this one here that I found and it's literally just called hold on, let me get the all right, never mind, hold on. Why there's so many pop-up
You done the
ads?
Coca-Cola scholarship?
No.
Well, it took me like 4 days.
What was that? Like what'd you have to do?
I was just slow. It should have taken like 40 minutes, but I was
What's the
just
scholarship? Like what do you have to do for it?
I don't even know how much it is, but it's just like a boring one where you just put in your information.
And that's it?
I don't know.
Like what's like
Yeah.
the criteria? Like how do they decide the winner?
I don't know. I mean, I made sure to tell them I didn't like Pepsi, but I was just like I don't even
Why
know.
you like
I
Coca-Cola?
gotta find more interesting ones. I haven't done one fun one. All of mine are just what day were you born?
Dude,
What grade did you get
like
in
I
English
just found a
10?
$500 one titled the Kendrick Lamar fan no essay scholarship.
Dude,
Like,
I should do a weather
What?
historian scholarship. I would ace that.
Clearly.
Dude, Midwest weather
who's
events.
giving out money for that? Oh, the
Who's
Kendrick
giving
Lamar.
out $500 to the #1 Kendrick Lamar fan so they can go to college? That's what I'm saying. Some of them are like so funny that I just like really want to fill them out, even if like my responses are so not serious. It'd be like something fun to do.
David, I bet there is a ton of Lego scholarships if you look them up.
David.
Like
I would be. There's a Minecraft scholarship, dude.
Okay, now you're just calling me out.
I'm not calling you out. I'm supporting you.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean probably. I don't know, do I have to like build something?
I don't know.
Build
I
us
don't know.
build us your imagination.
Build us something that represents you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just like build like I don't know.
There are a lot of scholarship. Like there was one that I found that I genuinely think I could have like a decent shot at winning, and it was like the essay you have to submit is an essay basically explaining what you're like interested in or what your passion is and how earning money will help you expand in that passion. And like with
Oh, so
me
I could do
making
that with Legos.
I maybe probably not. But like with
Yeah.
me making videos, I feel like there's like a genuine sort of, more money means, more equipment,
Video,
better
yeah.
editing software and stuff like that. So there's like genuine, and I also like actually apply that work to school. So
Mm.
I feel like that's something like that I could genuinely have a decent shot at.
There's a podcasting scholarship. That's a hot topic.
No way.
I might look for that.
Please
It's
do.
the four of us.
I will,
Let's do.
and I will not send it to you because I'm winning.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's going to ask you like the account information of the podcast and you're going to have no clue what to do.
What do you mean
Uh,
account information?
I don't
What?
know.
I'll just send him the link and be like, "That's me."
Nah, but okay. Who's in the top left corner? Who comes first when you look at the screen? Me.
Some could consider top right more important than top left.
Yeah, maybe if they live in Europe, not Europe, China. That's what I'm thinking. They read right to left.
Nerds.
I don't know.
Man, all right. Whatever. Scholarships. Look into scholarships. They're very useful. Moving on from that, Aiden. Let me ask you a bit more about school and how all that's going. What classes are you taking right now?
Interpersonal communications, intro to computers, and strength and conditioning.
All right, all right. Are any of those like particularly difficult or maybe easy?
Um, intro to computers is pretty easy if you just do the work. I could say the same for interpersonal. Then basic strength and conditioning. The class itself is actually really easy. The kids in there though are just the worst part. They're all freshmen.
Yeah, what do you do? Like what's like the learning? I don't actually know.
And what class?
Interpersonal.
Interpersonal. Just about how you convey your feelings and understand the feelings of others, and
So
like communication and stuff like that.
so it's pretty similar to like what psychology might be about.
It's
Yeah,
kind of
sort
like
of.
it's kind of like how you interpersonally communicate.
Okay, Ian,
Yeah,
shut up.
Dude,
literally.
a different angle.
Mm.
You're a thinker.
Yeah, thank you, Ian,
No
for your
problem.
insight. Your hair is starting to dry a little bit now, and I'm noticing.
It is. It's drying all down and stuff.
And looks good.
Oh, thank you.
All right, all right, all right. Let me talk about something that I've been thinking about. I'm going completely off topic away from school at all. What is the deal with Crumble Cookie and getting really popular again for no reason?
TikTok.
Um,
Because here's
I
my
didn't
hot
know they
take.
were popular again.
Crumble Cookie is bad. I am not a fan. I think it's mid. And here's why. Here's
It's
why.
not that bad.
I think
Okay.
Crumble Cookies.
Or feel the rant.
This is the
portion
rant
of it.
segment of the podcast. When I think of like a good cookie, I like soft cookies, right? I prefer soft cookies over like crunchy cookies. But like
Agree.
I still like the soft cookies that feel like a cookie. Like you bite into them and you still know like the best cookies are the cookies where you bite into them and they still got kind of like a little crunch, little like like the outer crust, but they're still soft and chewy once you're actually chewing them. Crumble cookies are like you're eating raw dough. It's like cake almost. And it's just not even that good at that. And they're so rich. Like I could eat a couple cookies and be totally fine, but I take 2 bites of a crumble cookie and I want to throw up because of how sweet and rich they are. It's mid. I do not
Dude.
understand all the hype.
I just hate crumble cookies so much. I just take a bite and it's so ooey and gooey and rich and sweet. It sucks so
Dude,
much.
you are twisting my
This
words.
is every one of your rants.
Bro, dude, you are making.
You list the positives.
No, I do not. All right, and here's a real negative. I don't understand the whole like the menu, like 5 cookies at a time swapping like every week. Like, could you imagine if Whitey's instead of all their different flavors only offered 5 flavors at a time, and it like had a cycle?
I mean, this past month has basically been that because we had a
Alright.
we had a factory, a factory ups, a bad,
Are you?
bad. We beat Medicare. No, we had a bad something happen at the factory, so we lost a lot of ice cream.
David,
So
do you need to go to
like,
bed?
can you tell that I like slowly like stop working?
Yeah, you are very clearly beginning to be deprived.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not done yet. We're not
Oh.
done yet at all. Humble cookie. I don't know what my brain just got so caught up on that. David, I'm sorry. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Basically at the start of the podcast, I talked a little bit about homecoming. That's of course all over, and now Hunger Drive season is starting. So that's exciting. There's gonna be a lot more events and fundraisers. One thing that I'm looking forward to is I'm looking forward to Capture the Cans because I've actually never been, and because in past years I've never been able to really get a team together. Like last year, I was like, Ian, we should do Capture the Cans, and you were like, nah, I got Dungeons and Dragons to play. So,
Sound like me.
maybe that's debatable, but I really do want to go this year. I'm gonna make sure I go this year.
Yep. I'll now that I'm on student council, I'll go this year with you, Sora.
If we're
Aiden,
trying to support the people who need canned food, why are we throwing them around playing football with them?
oh,
That's what I don't understand.
Wait, is that what Capture the Cans is?
it's capture the flag,
That's
but with cans instead of flags. That's it.
what?
It's capture the
You
flag,
said, oh,
but with cans.
You gotta capture it.
Do you know how to capture the flag works?
what? Yes, I know how to capture the flag.
I'm
It's the same
asking.
difference.
I'm asking Ian.
What is Hunger Drive season other than like events for student council? Because like
Well, it's just
I
like
ain't never. I see the ads and I'm like, I don't care.
okay,
I'm not gonna lie.
no school
What up?
spirit, I guess. But no, like we do like
That's
soliciting and canvassing, so there's a good chance like at some point your parents will get like a knock on the door, and we'll be like, hey, would you like to donate to the Hunger Drive? And then if you ever go to like Hy-Vee or Fairway, like on the weekend especially, you're probably gonna see people outside of there being like, hey, donate to the Hunger Drive. Yes, Ian.
Sora, we should solicit a canvas together.
Oh, that's all
All
you're
three
gonna...
of us should.
Dude, that would be
Yeah.
awesome. We'd get so many donations.
We would.
Go into
Aiden,
the one that's your podcast.
are you planning on going to Capture the Cans? Have you ever gone before?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you should, because it's gonna be great. It's gonna be. Oh, they want me to make like last year. They want me to make like a video advertising it, and I'm like thinking about funny ideas. This is gonna sound dumb. You guys know like the scene of SpongeBob and Patrick when they're both like running, and then Patrick gets like lassoed, and then he gets pulled away and
Yes.
like blows up. Yeah, see, Aiden knows what I'm talking about. Dude, that'd be so funny to do like that, a parody of that with two people like running with cans, and then like they're on the football field, and Ian comes running in and just tackles one of them to the ground.
Do you want me to wear my football gear for it?
Dude, that would be awesome. I don't know if they'd allow that because it's like violent, but
No.
because I don't think you're actually allowed to tackle people and capture the cans. I could be wrong. They should make that a rule that you are allowed to do that.
We should let them borrow the football pads.
I don't know.
Dude, you should. They should do capture the cans where it's students versus people in need of food. So they have to capture their food, and all the food they capture, they get. Because I think that would probably get more donations
I
because
like
it's
Is it
more
I like
entertaining,
this idea.
which I think in turn would actually
I like
increase
that.
revenue.
So you
I like
think?
this.
Isn't that like the Instagram reels where like you know what I'm talking about where the
No,
none of you they have like
Owen?
these people in like Africa they like have to like do these like stupid things where they like roll the ball into the cup.
Talking about
Yeah, and then like if you roll it into a certain cup, you can get like 2 jugs of like eatable oil. or like you can get like
Okay,
a
we
thing
know
of rice.
David's tired when he says eatable instead of edible.
Oh, same
Eat
thing.
it.
Eat oil.
It's the same thing.
But no, I have not seen that. That sounds very strange.
It's very good.
Dude, Jacob making the comment about us throwing cans at each other reminds me of something that David did a few days ago.
What did I do a few days
So
ago?
a few days ago, to kick off the Hunger Drive, we had the Hunger Drive
Oh.
kickoff, which
right.
is where a bunch of the schools talk. Well, a bunch of the schools participating in the Hunger Drive meet together at the Riverbend Food Bank warehouse is where we met.
I
And then
wasn't there.
you were not there.
I'm
But
sorry.
all the schools we meet up, and then each school, well, not all of them, but those who want to participate, all perform a skit. I think we mentioned it at some point. David was in it. I was in it. We performed a little performance. I'm not gonna, no spoilers on what happened, because next week, the guests we are bringing on are gonna talk a lot more extensively about this. So I'm not gonna really go into detail on how that all went. What I will say though is that for this skit, each of the members, besides like me, because I had a different job, needed to bring 2 cans as part of our routine. But David, for whatever reason, did not bring 2 cans. He brought 2 jars of like salsa,
Salsa.
glass jars.
Okay. Can I explain?
You can
Alright,
explain.
Okay, so it was 5 minutes before I needed to leave my house. I thought to myself, oh, I need to find cans in my house. I have zero clue where cans are in my house. I look in my pantry, and it has like 2 things of like jalapeno Cheeto bags, and then next to those were some salsa jars. And I said, oh wow, if I can't find any cans in the next 5 minutes, I'll bring the salsa jars. Not thinking about the glass. Okay, I was just thinking to the size of a can. Well, I didn't find any cans. So I ended up bringing the salsa.
Maybe they won't
And,
notice it's mustard.
well, and when we get there and
Dude.
people are like, those aren't cans. And I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter that they're not cans, they're the size of cans. From afar, they look like cans. And they're like, well, as long as you don't drop them and break them, then we won't have a problem. Okay, we do our entire like hour and a half long practice. Okay, I don't drop them once.
Practice
Okay,
at the
I'm
high
feeling
school before
at
riding to
at
the
the high
warehouse.
school, yeah. And I felt pretty confident. I was good. We walk over to the south entrance to our high school because that's where the buses are. We're standing around, and then all of a sudden they just slip out of my hands and drop on the tile floor and just absolutely shatter. And thank God that the janitor was literally standing 5 feet behind me, or else that would have been an absolute mess to clean up because there was glass everywhere. There was salsa everywhere. I looked down at my hand and it was bleeding. I'm not sure if you guys can see my injury. This is my lone injury, but it was bleeding pretty bad. And if it wasn't for Mateo Troche, former guest of the podcast, he came into the restroom and he gave me advice. He's like, put some soap on it, dry it off, make sure that we get some alcohol in there. Yeah, it helps. So,
Yeah. W. Mateo.
yeah, he saved my life. I would have died.
I didn't notice, did you end up getting like replacement cans for the skit?
I got a single can because we had spare cans, which they're like, yeah, we have spare cans for you. Don't worry about it. We get there, and then we're getting ready to go up for our skit. Like we're next in line, and we're passing out cans, and we're like 4 cans short. And people are like, wait, didn't we have extra cans? And Mateo's like, oh, I had a bag of cans in the bus. I just left it in the bus, and I was just gonna go grab it when we're ready to perform. Well, the bus driver went to go get dinner, so the bus wasn't even at the warehouse anymore. So we didn't have any more cans. So
no. So
yeah, so it didn't matter then.
yeah, we'll talk about the skit more next episode. So stay tuned for that. But before I think we start wrapping things up, because David seems like he's about to pass out. Aiden, just a little final question. If you just had to like pick out about high school, you've been here for 4 years, senior year, it's our last year. what would you say is like your favorite part about it all? What's your favorite memory? What like do you look back most fondly on?
Of like anything at the high school.
Yeah, just like what like in these past 4 years, like what do you think about the most fondly? Is it the people? Is there any classes? Anything you can think of that just
This might sound cliche, but Friday Night Lights.
mm, yeah.
I love the football games in the student section, and like I can just dress up and scream at the top of my lungs. I'm not judged for it.
That is a good
That's
answer.
pretty
That is a
awesome.
good answer.
Yes.
You got to be doing it more once Ian actually gets on the field. Will that ever happen, Ian?
Possibly next week again in our game against Davenport Central.
That's good. That's good to hear.
Wait,
I want to see Eli on the
Not-
field.
not this week though. This week we have
This
Kennedy,
week we
right?
play Kennedy, and they're supposed to be
Yeah.
pretty good, so I won't be getting in. But
Yeah.
I'm guaranteed playtime our senior night. It probably won't be much though, because they're also kind of good.
That's nice. That's nice. Well, that's a really good thing. Aiden. I haven't really gone to like any football games ever, but
Hey, you
Are
went
you
to the
going
one where
some?
you got coronated.
I went to the one where they gave me a crown and told me I was king. But yeah, that's really good. I mean, it's something that a lot of people enjoy. I think that not like for me, I don't think it's personally for me, but I think for a lot of people, there's a lot of enjoyment to be had in going to those football games and just being a part of the culture there.
You
Hopefully,
sound like you're reading the script, dude.
okay.
You want to go to an away game with me? I'll take you to an away game.
I'm
You
going
gotta
to the
experience
Central
it. It's a
game.
good
I
time.
want to see Central's band. I'm going to the Central game.
When is you nerd? When is that?
Not this week, next week.
All right.
I am not
Oh
gonna
yeah.
do that.
Oh yeah.
Dude, it's at Brady Street. It's like 20 minutes from here.
Mhm.
I
It's like
hate
the
Brady Street
closest. It's
Stadium,
like the
bro.
closest away game, except for PV.
Oh.
I was gonna go to Muscatine, but then nobody else was going.
Dude, a bunch
You
of people
mean
went to our
Not Muscatine,
Dubuque.
Dubuque.
yeah?
Dude, there were like 8 kids that showed up to the Dubuque game. I was kind of shocked anyone even
Were,
did.
were they hype?
They were so hyped. They were actually screaming almost. Maybe it was like they were loud because I was standing next to them, but they were screaming almost as loud as the student section for Dubuque was.
Were they just the like the 8 people that are like in the front of the
Yeah,
crowd the entire
they brought
time,
like
like Max and the people who kind of
it was
have to
like
be there?
Max and Delaney, and they brought like the dog pound sign.
Dude,
Hmm.
that'd be sick.
I
Mhm.
I could get, I don't know.
all right.
But that was Dubuque's. Oh, never mind.
I think does that wrap us up? Does
Does it?
I think it
I think
does? I think so.
What have you been doing lately? What have you been doing since homecoming? We've talked about homecoming for 2 weeks. You can't have done nothing since then.
Who? Aiden? Me?
Anyway.
You,
Me? Aiden?
you
Me?
got a lot of stuff
Sorefield?
to say. You've got so much stuff to say.
I do.
Yeah, Sawyer, what have you been doing since homecoming?
What have I been doing since homecoming? I've been basking in the glory.
Lacking.
No.
No, slacking.
I have things going on behind the scenes. Okay.
that right?
Yes. Yes. There have actually been 3 different like teachers who have reached out to me asking if I can like make a video for certain things. Like that T-Mobile competition that we're part of that we may reach if we reach the finalists, our school needs to submit
I
a
like
video.
that post.
Yeah, well, if we make the finalists, our school needs a video that's like a "this is why we deserve to win" type thing, and they want me to make
That
that
be in
video.
it, or is that just student council?
No, that yeah, anyone can be in it,
Maybe I'll make a post.
but I'll talk about that more if we actually make the finalists, which we won't find out for like over a week. So, yeah. But with that,
I
yes, Jacob.
I was just say I haven't seen any posts on it.
Well, that's because we don't know if we're actually like in the finalists yet.
Don't we have to make? I thought it was like the most posts got into the 16 finalists. Never mind.
No, I think it's just they decide based on like information about the schools.
Mm.
But with that, for real, that wraps us up for this episode 19. Thank you, Aiden, for coming on as a guest. Good luck in all your endeavors into flying. I mean, that is really cool that you're doing that. And man, just thanks for being on. Thank you all for listening. goodbye. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
All right.